Hey, boys and girls, it's Miss Holub here and ready for another edition of Science. So let's recap from yesterday. We learned about what? And you made a what? Wheel and axle. Yes, out of the coffee straw and the 2 Cheerios, right? So wheel and axle is an example of a what? Everybody say simple machine. Simple machine. Well, today we're going to be talking about something that I think we've all heard of, but I'm not really sure. So I'm going to give us some think time. Okay. Who has heard of or knows what a magnet is? Magnet. Okay. Second part of the question. Where have you seen a magnet? Have you seen one? Give yourself some think time. Think about it. Okay, you can pause if you need more time. You might have seen a magnet on your what? Where you open it, it has doors, 2 doors, you open it and you get food out of it. What's that called? Refrigerator. That's right, refrigerator. That took a little too long to load. Yeah, you might have seen it on the refrigerator. Can you think of anywhere else you might have seen a magnet? Did you think of another place? That's okay if you haven't, because today we are going to read a book called A Look at Magnets. And good readers have a purpose, as we know, for reading. And your purpose or your reason is to decide, how could a magnet help me in my life, in Miss Holub's life, in Carlos's life, in Natalia's life? How could a magnet help me? Okay, as you're reading this, think about magnets and how could they help you in your life? All right, let's take a look. A Look at Magnets by Barbara Alpert. What is a magnet? What makes a paperclip jump? A magnet! Magnets are made of iron, nickel, or steel. Magnets make some metal objects move, but magnets don't work on all metals. Can a magnet move an aluminum can? A copper penny? How magnets work. An invisible area called a magnetic field surrounds a magnet. So invisible is like, oh, I can't see. And it's called a magnetic field, okay? Kind of like a grassy area in the farm, a field. So it's invisible. You can't see it. And that surrounds the magnet, okay? Iron filings, that's these things, show the magnet's line of energy. We've heard that word before. What does energy mean? Well, where do we get energy from? We get energy from the sun. The sun gives us energy. That's right. So a magnet's pull is strongest at the spots with the most filings. Remember, these are those iron filings. So which one has more? This one or this one? This one, very good. So that means it's the strongest, okay? Because Miss Holub learned this. All magnets are not equally as strong. And these areas are called the magnetic pole. One is called the South Pole. See the S? All right. And one is called the North Pole. What letter is this? N. Very good. The North Pole. So we're going to look in just a minute in case you thought of North Pole and Santa Claus. So hold that thought if you thought about that. Try to make the north poles of the 2 magnets touch. They will push away or repel each other. What do those words mean? That's a great question. We're going to keep reading, and if we still don't know, Miss Holub is going to go over some vocabulary with us after the book, okay? But opposites pull together or attract. Oh, what did I say? Okay, so we think of the North Pole, we think of ho, 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 Santa Claus, right? So it's a good way to remember it, because guess what? What's this a picture of? Where we That's right. We live on the planet Earth, and the Earth has a North Pole and a South Pole. It acts like a huge magnet. Okay, so you know how they were talking about there are some magnets that are strong and some that aren't, right? Ours is very strong. It has a North Pole and a South Pole. Right here, the bottom. Magnets show people where to go, and this is called a compass. Everybody say compass. Compass. And Earth's magnetic energy, a compass needle always points north. See, if you can see it right here, it's an N for north right here. And the Earth's magnetic energy pulls it that way, right? It's a strong magnet. And so we use compasses to tell us where to go. So instead of saying, oh, go that way, they'll say, oh, go north, or oh, go south, or go west, like when you're looking to go to your friend's house to go play. Also, now remember our purpose for reading, we're thinking about how magnets can help us, okay? Magnets help doctors see when you are hurt. This is called, ooh, look at that glow. This is called an MRI machine. And an MRI machine's powerful magnet helps make a picture of the inside of your body. Wow, inside of your body. Pretty cool. See, he's waiting to go inside the MRI machine. Magnets are everywhere. Magnets hold up pictures on a refrigerator, credit cards, Miss Holub? Use magnets to pay for what you buy. Magnets are at work everywhere you look. All right. How did you like that book? So, did you find a reason how magnets could help you in your life? Well, first of all, what even makes something magnetic? That's a great question. So in the book, do you remember the picture where, and I'll show you in just a second, where the magnets would repel, right? It means they wouldn't touch, they wouldn't come together. So just think of like COVID right now. Are we supposed to touch? No, unfortunately, we're not, right? So we can't touch. So we have to stay apart, right? That means repel. Oh, but I want to hold your hand. You can't. That's repel. But I really want, you can't. That's repel. Everybody say repel. Do it with me. Repel. Okay. And then when the magnets attract, they come together. So everybody say attract. Put your hands like this. Attract. That's right. So they attract, come together. That's when something is what do you think? Magnetic. So when they repel, what do you think it would be? Magnetic? Non-magnetic? Correct. Non-magnetic. Non-magnetic looks like this. They're not touching. They're repelling away from the magnet. Whereas a magnet that is attracted pushes towards it. Okay? So, Ms. Holub, I have a question. How do you know if something is magnetic? Ooh, exactly. Ding, ding, ding. I love questions. That is a great question. Let's find out. So, our cue for today, we will, and I always have my students say we will. Sorry, I was waiting for you to say that. We will predict and describe. So, predict means, we're going to think about what's going to happen. And we're going to describe, that means tell me, what types of objects push, we're attracted to, right? Come together. A magnet, okay? And how are we going to do that, you ask? Using your Vario magnet, because we all know we have magnets on the fridge, as we've seen. You will test various items to determine, so you're going to test the items. That means you're going to try and see which objects are attracted, right, or come together to the magnet. And Miss Holub, yours truly, did a little test. Watch and see. Here we go. Have my objects. I'm going to test this canned cat food, and I'm going to test this nail. I have two different size magnets. I'm going to start with my large one. Do you notice anything about it? What letters do you see? S for south, very good, and N for north, like we learned about. Okay, so first, good scientists make predictions. So what is my prediction? Okay, so I predict that this can of cat food, because it says it's made from aluminum on the top, I'm going to predict that it will attract to the magnet. Okay, let's see if I'm correct. Here we go, moment of truth. Oh no. Okay, let's check the smaller magnet just to be sure. Nope. And just to remind you, remember how we learned that there are some magnets that are stronger than others? Okay, that could very well be it too, but it's not even touching it a little bit, is it? Right? So do you think that's the type of metal that's attracted to the magnet? Doesn't look like it. Did not work. Okay. Now, one thing we could do is we could test to see and make sure the magnets work. And remember, what did we learn in the book? What's one thing that is attracted to the magnet? Something we use to hold papers. It's called a paper clip. That's right, paper clip. So let's make sure the magnets work. Did it work? It did work. Okay, so the magnet works. So that just must not be magnetic. So maybe that's not a type of metal that is magnetic. Here we go. What about the nail? What do you predict? I predict, I'm just going to say it won't. I don't think it will. Because it didn't with the can. What makes you think the nail would work? Here we go. What? Oh my goodness. So what type of metal must the nail be made out of? Could be nickel, could be, what was another one? Yep. So, thanks for watching. It's going to be your turn. All right. Thank you, Miss Holub. Where did Miss Holub go? All right. So I have my objects. I'm going to test. Oh, no. And this is what we call a failure to communicate. Just kidding. Okay. All right, it is your turn. So here are the objects we need to test. Now remember, going back to the cue, you have a magnet. You will test various items around the house, and you're going to decide which come together or attracted. The North and South poles attract, okay? So here is a snapshot of the items you will use. And don't worry, in Google Class, I have attached an example for you with the pictures as well, so you can refer back to that. Find as many as you can that are similar in element. And then before you actually test them, make those predictions, okay? So remember, prediction is thinking about what you know about magnets, what they're made of, and what are they made of? Exactly, metal, different types, specific metals. And we're going to see if those specific types of metals are attracted or come together. Okay, I can't wait to see them. So go ahead and pause this video, remote learners. And then when you're done predicting after each item, then come back to us. So for example, just like I did in the video, I made my prediction and then I went and tested it and I determined if I was correct or not correct. Okay, that's exactly how you do it for each item. And again, you can use this as a guide. All right, I can't wait to see them. All right. Happy experimenting. How did it go? Were your predictions correct? Yeah? Well, guess who I have to help us? I have none other than Science Guy.
Hello, boys and girls. I'm so glad to be here. I have been under a long winter's nap. I have needed my sleep.
Yes, you have, and we're so glad you're here. So, Science Guy, I need your help because we're going to go through the items and we're going to determine if they're magnetic or not. Can you help me?
Absolutely, Miss Holub.
All right, so the first one I thought we'd start with are your pair of scissors. So I decided to get a magnet that I actually pulled from my refrigerator because my home learners are there. And so it doesn't look like a magnet. You can actually clip it, but guess what's on the back? A magnet!
That is so totally awesome, Miss Holub.
I know. So, Science Guy, I need your help. Can you hold the magnet for me and I'll hold the scissors?
You got it, Miss Holub.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to give you the magnet. And I've got the scissors. So here, let's hold it this way so we can see the magnet. Here's the scissors. Here's the magnet. Here we go. Let's see if they will attract or come together. Oh my goodness! Did it attract? It did. It did attract. So this must be made of the right type of what? Metal. You know how I remember magnets are made out of metal? They both start with what sound? That's correct. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on this slide so we can see what we're doing. Okay. So we did scissors. Check. What should we do next, Science Guy?
Oh, what about the pretty construction paper?
Ooh, great idea. You know what? I'm at home though, and I don't have construction paper, but I do have some notebook paper. Will that work?
I think so, Miss Holub.
Absolutely. Let's try it, okay? Ready, set. Do you mind using your mouth? Okay. And here's my magnet. Oh, yeah, that didn't work. Oh, but I could clip it. Oh, there we go. But did it stick to the magnet? Did it attract or come together? It didn't, did it? All right. So, you know what I realized? I didn't make a prediction. Did you make a prediction though? Okay, that's the important thing. All right. Let's see if you were correct. That goes in that pile. We already did paperclip. That goes in this pile of magnetic and non-magnetic. What should we test next, Science Guy?
Oh, what about cardboard?
All right, I've got cardboard here. Open your mouth again. Okay. And let's see if it comes together and attracts. Here we go. Oh, if I hold it like this.
Nope.
Okay. Nope. We'll put that. Cardboard and paper. Are those made out of similar things? What do you think? All right, we're going to do 2 more. And then if you have any questions about the rest, you can let me or your teacher know. So here's my magnet. And here, cookie cutter. I love making cookies. And what holiday's coming up next? Hop, hop, hop. Easter. Okay, open wide, Science Guy. And let's see if they attract. Here's the magnet. No. Last one. Oh, wonder what this is made of. Starts with a P. What is that word? Oh, yes, plastic. This is made of plastic. Okay. So that was not magnetic. Ooh, what shape is this? A triangle. Very good job. And this is actually made out of a type of metal. Let's see if it's the right type of metal. Here we go. Last time, Science Guy. Okay, here we go. Would you look at that? Must be made of a type of metal. All right. Thank you, Science Guy. You are a great assistant.
You're welcome. Have fun learning, boys and girls.
Bye, Science Guy.
See you next time.
Okay, thank you, Science Guy. So, really quickly, when you were deciding what was magnetic, what stuck together or attracted, and what didn't, do you think the color mattered? Do you think how big it mattered? Do you think how tall it was mattered? Do you think how short it was mattered? Do you think of what it was made of mattered? Think about it. Think about it. A magnet is a piece of metal with a strong attraction, that means come together, with another metal object. So see the ones I circled? As I demonstrated in the video, the nail attracted or came together, right, with the magnet. Let's test out the hammer. I have a hammer here. The hammer is attracted to the magnet. Now, as the book said, not all types of metal are magnetic. So which ones are? Well, I'm glad you thought of that. Magnets are made out of iron, like Iron Man. They're made out of nickel. Fun fact, a nickel is only 25% made from actual nickel. So when you go to test it, it might not stick. And magnets are made out of steel, like Superman can bend steel. Okay. So if yours is magnetic, it must be made out of one of those three metals. Interesting. How could you use a giant magnet? Well, guess what? Giant magnets are responsible for electric motors and generators. What is that? The bottom line is that they are used in helping us have electricity. And what is electricity? Looking at the lights, having heat. Yeah, last week was so hard not having electricity. So those magnets need to be working, don't they? Moving a metal wire near a magnet produces electricity. So magnets are so important, you guys. Let's go back to the cue to review. Electricity heats our homes, lights up our schools, and powers our devices, like your tablet, like your phone, like your any kind of gaming system you have. So magnets are so important. In your science journal, you will draw a picture of an object that you tested and found was magnetic. Okay? Can't wait to see those drawings. And before we go, I have a very special song that I would like to sing to you in my lovely voice. Actually, I need to warm up my voice. It's not that great. So, you know what vocal exercises are? Okay, let's get going. Here is the song to help us remember what a magnet is and what it is magnetic toward. That's a big word. Magnetic, isn't it? Let's clap it out. Magnetic, right? So here we go. And this is to the tune of I'm a Little Teapot. So if you've ever heard that song before. Okay, here we go. Gotta sing it for you. I'm a little magnet, can't you see? Any of these three metals, iron, steel, or nickel, will attract to me. If it is made from any of these three, they will all attract to me. All right. Thanks, boys and girls. I hope you learned something about magnets. And remember, magnets can help you in your daily life. Think about how magnets can help you. I want to end with that. So if you're around your house, think about how you could use a magnet to help you. What could you use it for? Bye, guys. Have a great day. Just kidding. Just to refresh, what did we do today? We predicted and described which types of objects pushed or attracted to a magnet. And you are going to think about how magnets can help you, whether it's pick up toys, think about it. Tell your teacher. And also, if you have any questions at all, that's what I'm here for. I hope so. Jojo me if you are in my class, or definitely if you're in another teacher's class, Jojo, your homeroom teacher, and get those questions to me. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.